Language is a powerful tool that allows us to express and communicate our thoughts, ideas, emotions, and experiences. It is intricately connected to the way we think and shapes our cognitive processes. Here's an explanation of how language expresses the way we think. Conceptualization. Language helps us conceptualize the world around us. It provides us with a framework to organize and categorize our thoughts. For example, when we learn a new language, we often discover new words and concepts that were not present in our native language, which can broaden our understanding of the world. Influence on perception. Language influences the way we perceive and interpret the world. Different languages have distinct vocabulary and grammatical structures, which can shape our perception of objects, events, and relationships. For instance, languages that have specific words for colors can influence how people perceive and differentiate between those colors. Structures of thought. Language has a profound impact on the structure of our thoughts. The grammar, syntax, and semantic rules of a language shape the way we formulate and articulate our ideas. For example, languages with strict word order can encourage linear thinking, while languages with flexible word order may foster more fluid and nonlinear thinking patterns. Cultural and social influence. Language reflects the culture and society in which it is used. It carries cultural norms, values, and shared knowledge. Our language use is influenced by social contexts, and it shapes the way we express our thoughts and interact with others. Different languages can emphasize or downplay certain concepts, influencing the way we prioritize and convey information. Influence on problem-solving and decision-making. Language affects our problem-solving and decision-making processes. It provides us with tools to reason, analyze, and evaluate information. The availability of specific words, phrases, and idiomatic expressions in a language can influence the way we approach and solve problems. Expression of identity and emotion. Language allows us to express our identity, emotions, and personal experiences. It provides a means to convey our thoughts and feelings, shaping how we relate to others and how we interpret their experiences. The richness and nuances of language enable us to communicate complex emotions and experiences that are fundamental to our individuality. The relationship between language and thought has been explored by researchers from various scientific disciplines, including linguistics, psychology, cognitive science, and neuroscience. While the exact mechanisms are still a topic of ongoing research, several scientific theories and findings shed light on how language expresses the way we think. Linguistic relativity, Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests that the structure and vocabulary of a language shape the way speakers think and perceive the world. It proposes that language can influence cognitive processes, including memory, categorization, and attention. While the strong version of linguistic relativity, that language determines thought, has been largely discredited, some evidence supports the weak version, that language influences thought. Cognitive linguistics. This framework emphasizes the relationship between language and cognition. It suggests that language is grounded in our sensory and motor experiences, and concepts are formed through our interaction with the physical world. The structure of language, including its grammar and metaphorical expressions, reflects how we conceptualize and think about the world. Cognitive neuroscience. Brain imaging techniques, such as functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, have provided insights into the neural processes underlying language and thought. Studies have shown that different cognitive processes involved in language production and comprehension activate specific regions of the brain. For example, the left hemisphere, particularly the Broca's area and Wernicke's area, is heavily involved in language processing. Neuroplasticity. Research on neuroplasticity suggests that the brain's structure and function can change in response to language learning and experience. Learning a new language can lead to structural changes in the brain, particularly in regions associated with language processing. These changes can impact cognitive processes and potentially influence the way we think. Bilingualism. Studies on bilingual individuals provide insights into how language influences cognition. Bilingual speakers often switch between languages based on the context, and this linguistic flexibility has been associated with enhanced cognitive control, attention, and problem-solving abilities. Bilingual individuals may also exhibit different thinking patterns when using different languages, highlighting the influence of language on thought processes. Language can bring about several changes in the mind, influencing various cognitive processes and shaping our thinking patterns. Conceptualization and categorization. Language provides a system for organizing and categorizing our thoughts. It enables us to label and classify objects, events, and ideas, which helps us form coherent mental representations of the world. Through language, we develop concepts and categories that structure our thinking and perception. Memory and attention. Language influences memory processes by providing a framework for encoding, organizing, and retrieving information. Words and linguistic structures can serve as cues for memory retrieval, making it easier to recall and remember specific information. Language also guides our attention, focusing it on relevant aspects of our experiences and shaping how we process and retain information. Problem solving and reasoning. Language facilitates problem-solving and reasoning processes. It provides us with tools to analyze, evaluate, and articulate our thoughts, allowing us to engage in logical and abstract thinking. Language can shape the way we approach problems, influencing our strategies and the depth of our analysis. Perception and interpretation. Language affects how we perceive and interpret the world. The vocabulary and grammatical structures of a language can influence our perception of objects, events, and relationships. For example, languages that have specific words for subtle color distinctions may lead speakers of those languages to perceive and differentiate colors more effectively. Influence on thought patterns. The structure and syntax of a language can shape our thought patterns. Languages with different grammatical rules and word orders can encourage different types of thinking. For example, languages with a strict word order may foster more linear and sequential thinking, while languages with flexible word order may promote more holistic and flexible thinking. Expression of emotion and identity. Language allows us to express our emotions, thoughts, and personal experiences. It provides a means for communicating our inner states and constructing our identity. Language allows us to share our perspectives, connect with others, and create shared meaning, influencing our social interactions and sense of self.